Welcome. Please find a seat, make yourself at home. Welcome to Toastmasters. We're excited. We are excited to be here. This is the Golden Speakers Toastmasters Club. My name's Seth. I'm filling in for the Sergeant-at-Arms. And you know what? This club needs a Sergeant-at-Arms. That's right. So if you've been thinking about, gosh, I wish I could set things up and start meetings, this is your opportunity to set things up and start meetings. You too could do this. And the most important thing and the most fun thing I get to do is to welcome up our club president, Rhonda Whitaker. Give her a big, warm reception.
Hello, Toastmasters, viewers at home, and honored guests. A guest came in the last minute. I'm sorry I didn't catch your name. I can't quite read it. Annalisa and Emily, welcome. If you would like, at the end of the meeting, we'll ask you if you have a comment. You don't have to comment, but if you'd like to, we welcome it. We also welcome you to participate in our table topics round robin we're going to do tonight. And we have two other little guests, two little 10-year-old girls. We have Annalisa and, is it Brianna?
It's Brianna Crystal.
You want to stand up and tell us your name?
I'm Brianna Crystal.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Every Toastmasters Club has the same mission. The mission of a Toastmasters Club is to create a mutually supportive, how do you do? Mutually supportive, positive, welcome, learning environment for each and every individual member, to learn oral communication skills and leadership skills, which in turn fosters self-confidence. You're not afraid to get up in front of people. You know everybody in the room wants you to succeed. And leadership skills, someone who can take control when it needs to be handled. Now, I would like to introduce to you our Toastmaster tonight. The Toastmaster is responsible for introducing the participants and conducting the entire program. Please help me warmly welcome Jeff Shipley.
Hello Toastmasters, members and guests. I am the Toastmaster tonight. As Rhonda mentioned, my primary imperative is to get us out here on time, and that's one I take very seriously. Our meeting theme tonight is the lazy days of summer, and we have a quote here from Mr. Sam Keen. Deep summer is when laziness finds respectability. So dwell on that. I'd like to introduce our timer this evening, filling in as Bob Burns. Would you be willing to explain your role for us?
Well, table topics will be a little different tonight, and Dan will explain that. So normally it's 1 to 2 minute table topics, but we have 3 prepared speeches, 2 that are 5 to 7 minutes, and then the third one is 15 to 17 minutes. So on the 5 to 7 minutes, the green light goes on at 5, yellow light at 6, and the red light at 7, and remains on to the end of the speech. For the 15 to 17 minute speech, goes on at 15, 16 for the yellow light, and at 17, the red light comes on and stays on to the remainder of the speech. For evaluations are 3 minutes, so the green light comes on at 2 minutes, then 2 minutes and 30 seconds, 3 minutes, and stays on to the end of the speech. And I believe that's my timer's report. Not my timer's introduction. My report will come later.
Thank you, Bob. Serving as our awe counter this evening is Lynette Vivacqua. Would you be willing to share your role with us?
Sure. Good evening. I'm the awe counter, and I will be counting how many times you use and, but, and I will also take note of how many times you use the same phrase. So if you repeat the same phrase 2 or 3 times, I will have to mark a no.
Thank you, Lynette. Now I'd like to welcome our grammarian, Will Burns.
Yeah, Will.
I'm the the grammarian, and my job is to keep track of the language of the meeting. Not the filler words, but everything not a filler word. So we're talking about colorful uses of language. I will be listening for those. I will note those, and I will hopefully recognize you at the end. I skipped you, don't think it personal. There's a lot to cover here with so many glorious Toastmasters. I will also note any incorrect uses of English, but that's a very rare occurrence in this club. And finally, I will do the word of the day. This is a word you're encouraged to use, employ, it's to expand your grammar. The word is long. To hang loosely or laxly. Droop. To act or move in a lax, lazy, or indolent manner. Also, it can be used as this is a archaic noun, the act of lolling or relaxed posture. So, you can use this in your everyday functions.
Thanks, Will.
But first, use it here. And it fits with the theme.
Yeah, Will.
Makes me laugh.
Our general evaluator, who we'll be hearing from later in the evening, is Yoti Raj Adhikari. And our ballot leader counter is Dan Craig. Would you like to share a few words?
Fellow Toastmasters, I'm going to explain what I think a leader counter is. I believe most of us don't know exactly. Here's what a leader counter should do. You should find out before the meeting who has a role, who needs to be evaluated, and if they've found someone to evaluate them for that role. So first, would you raise your hand if you have a role tonight? If you also have your leadership manual with you, keep your hand up. We are going to have to take some names. Now, those with their hands up, have you found, if you have a role that needs to be evaluated, have you found an evaluator this evening? Is anybody that doesn't have one? Who can evaluate Jeff? Okay. Now, ordinarily we want to do this, sir.
I don't have an evaluator.
Anybody else? Alex, could you evaluate? Sure. Seth? The last thing I want to say is ordinarily we want to do this before the meeting gets rolling. Mr. Toastmaster.
Oh, sorry.
All right, don't get too far, too comfortable, Dan. I'd like to call you back up here to lead our table topics portion of the meeting.
Yeah.
Tonight we're doing something totally different, not the usual table topics. It's going to be a round robin. I'll explain that. But first I need everybody to stand up. I want you to sort of shift around so we're roughly in a circle. I'd rather not have rows of people. By the way, guests, you can participate or not. It's up to you. Okay, here's how a round robin will work.
Circle in this part too?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Let's
So
don't block the camera though.
So we need some people on this side. Yes.
Okay, it's very simple. We're each going to have 20 seconds to speak. I'm going to begin, and we're going to pass it around and head that way. And the only rule is that the last word that I say at the end of my 20 seconds has to be the first word that you begin with.
Hey, Bert.
We're not trying to maintain a particular story or theme. It can go any direction at all. For example, somebody could say, and then I noticed that they closed all the doors. The next person can say, doors come in many shapes and sizes. So does everybody see how that goes? Yeah. It has to be the first word you speak. You wouldn't say, oh yeah, I really like doors. Okay, so I'll begin. I'm going to be your timer. I'm going to give a signal at the end of your 20 seconds, and I'm going to speak out the last word for the next person to begin with. Here we go. I was lolling in a hammock on a lazy summer afternoon, gazing up at the sky that was so blue up above me and filled with puffy, white, glorious clouds. Clouds.
Clouds on a sunny afternoon. Sounds like a great time to sunbathe.
Sunbathe.
Sunbathing. And an activity I would enjoy if not for the dangers of radiation, UV light, and the respective health risks involved. How can you enjoy something as simple as, as enjoying the warmth of the sun when there's so much danger?
Danger.
Danger is just an illusion. When you feel like it's a danger, somebody else will probably enjoy it. Actually, I spent all the time sunbathing and using only oil cream, or not coconut oil, but olive oil. I was almost frying myself. You're talking about danger? That's a danger. How about something else?
Else.
Else, how to use else, I don't know the first word, but I know what he was talking about. Danger is the illusion. Yes, that is illusion. There is nothing called dangerous thing. The snake is dangerous for the people who may be run away from it. But,
Dangerous.
but
Dangerous is getting a mosquito bite, or bit by a bee, or bit by a wasp. I swell, so I'm very careful to stay out of the weeds.
Weeds. We're going to skip to Bob. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, Bob.
Well, I've really never smoked any weeds in my
Wait.
life.
First word.
Weeds.
Weed. Weed?
Weeds. Weed or weeds?
Weeds. I don't like weeds. I was taking care of those weeds all week by spraying my driveway. But the kind of weeds that I always think about are the weeds that are the people that are such a detriment to society.
Society.
Society. We live in a society. Fairfield's a society. And we all come together in Toastmasters to speak with one another and learn how to communicate and support each other in Toastmasters.
Toastmasters.
Toastmasters is a meeting that people come to. And they come into a basement of a church to be very friendly to each other and talk and make speeches. It seems like a very nice little community. Helps with working on speaking skills. And, I said,
And.
And is one of those filler words. But when I'm putting them in a sentence, they don't really count. So it cancels out what you just said. So part of it is really the embellishment and the connection that we have in terms of people, personalities.
Personalities.
Personalities. We have many personalities in Toastmasters. And we're all here tonight. We're not lolling around on our couches watching TV. We're here, all these personalities, to better ourselves, to grow, and to learn leadership skills.
Skills.
Skills vary over such a huge range. Some people have musical skills. Other people have skills in cooking and being able to think in the field of taste and discover combinations just by thinking about it and then try it out and amaze all of us with what a good dish it was.
Was coming to Toastmasters tonight, excited about starting sentences and finishing sentences and filling in sentences near the middle as well. That was a filler word.
Word.
Word. It's what I'm in the house to talk about. I'm talking about my homeboy Alex speaking for 36 hours and 45 minutes. That's a lot of words coming out of his mouth hole. I'm talking about words. 36 hours and 45 minutes.
Minutes.
Of topics is something that blanks my mind at this moment. But I think I'll say something about Toastmasters, which is probably the most fun organization I've ever joined. I'm very happy I'm here, and I hope to have a long and happy relationship with Toastmasters.
Toastmasters.
What an Toastmasters is a premier organization. We do not loll around thinking that we already have all the skills that we need for life. We actually get going and
Going.
Going. I am going to give a speech tonight, and actually I might break all the rules and read speech number 7, so be prepared. It's going to go fast, and it's going to be fun.
Fun.
Fun is what I live for, even in situations like this where we are promoting professional behavior. We always have to remember that fun is the game out there for all of us.
What was the last one?
To play.
Play.
Playing in the summer is great. I like to play Monopoly. I always win. The oranges is the most valuable Monopoly in that game. If you get the railroads, that's sure to make you a lot of money too. Because there's 4 of those on the board, and there's 3 total different chance cards which direct you to a railroad. Some of them which directs you to pay twice as much the rent that is owed. Thank you, Dan, for that wonderful change of pace. I really enjoyed that. I hope everyone else did too. So, table topics is kind of the appetizer for the evening. We got warmed up, we thought on our feet, everyone got a chance to speak. Now I'll be moving into the main portion of the meeting, the prepared speeches, and I would like to call up Marilyn Graber to read the objective for our first speech.
Our first speech tonight is by Rhonda Whitaker, our president. She is giving her 7th speech from the Competent Communicator Manual, and the project is to research your topic. The speech title is Getting into Fits for Fitness. That should pique our interest. The purpose of her speech is to help you get younger. Rhonda teaches low-impact fitness classes at Fairfield Park and Rec. Her water aerobics class incorporates a Peak 8 workout, and information packets, including the FPR class schedules and open house, will be given out at the end of the presentation. Let's warmly welcome Rhonda.
Ladies and gentlemen, is there anyone here who considers himself to be fit and athletic? Would you please stand up? Excellent. 5 people. Wonderful. Thank you. You may sit down. For the rest of us, by the end of this presentation, you will be having fits over fitness, out of breath, and sweaty. You'll know where to find the fountain of youth, growth hormone, and a Peak 8 workout. You'll leave tonight with the benefit of having a savings plan for exercise time, money discount on membership at a fitness center, and saving years on your life by increasing your lifespan with growth hormone. Now, everyone knows there's a fountain of youth somewhere, right?
Yes.
Well, the secret of youth is actually inside the body, within the pituitary gland. It's right in here. It sits in a little saddle in a big bone in the middle of the head. It's hidden and tucked away. It's a very sacred gland. It's the master gland of the body. Mark F. Beck, page 215 in Milady's Theory and Practice of Therapeutic Massage, wrote, "It is called the master gland because it creates hormones that stimulate or regulate the other endocrine glands. The pituitary produces and secretes Growth hormone. This hormone stimulates the growth of bones, muscles, and organs. The deficiency of this hormone inhibits mental and physical growth. Human growth hormone declines with age. Babies are born with huge amounts. They have the greatest amount. By the time you're 10, it starts to drop a little bit. By the time you're 20, it's about at its peak. When you hit 25, it starts to level out. So if you're 25, you're at your peak. At 30, you have somatopause, which means your body starts to slow down. The human growth hormone decreases. From 30 on, you're losing ground with the growth hormone. So it's something that you yourself can maintain by being active. Exercise stimulates the pituitary gland to produce growth hormone. There are certain things that happen to people as they age. Can anybody name a couple? Any of us elders? Thin skin?
Wiser.
Wiser. Oh, that's good. Okay. Thin skin, bone loss, hair loss, loss of energy. This is all going to be happening more and more as we age. So how many people want to avoid that? How many people would like to reverse that? Great. So we have the secrets here tonight. This chart is taken from Dr. Mercola's website, fitness.mercola.com. It was published in February 10th, 2012. It's called Boost Your Youth Hormone 771% in just 20 minutes. Exercise is the golden ticket to reversing the aging process. It's the fountain of youth. Dr. Mike Marino, the 17-day plan to stop aging, page 58, wrote, students who did leisurely physical activity, that's leisurely, at least 5 times a week for 30 minutes, that's a total of 2 hours, 2.5 hours, or vigorous activity for 20 minutes, at least 3 times a week, that's 1 hour. If you're vigorous, you can work out less. These students were found to have better working memory capacity than students who did not meet the Center for Disease Control and Prevention activity requirements. Dr. Ronald Klatz, page 258, Grow Young with Human Growth Hormone, wrote, exercise sends a wake-up call to your pituitary. Just getting started in a running program or a weightlifting program will stimulate your pituitary to create more growth hormone. Now, I would like people to stand up and walk in place. There are 3 types of muscle fibers, slow, fast, and super fast. Tonight we're going to do 2 peak 8s using slow and fast. I want you to walk in place, then march in place. We're warming up. To twitch or not to twitch, that is the question. You want to twitch to create human growth hormone. That means move your muscles. You must do both slow twitch and fast twitch to get the quickest fitness results. To get the most human growth hormone from the pituitary gland, you need to use all your muscle fiber types. Slow, slow, fast, and super fast. Right, very good. Okay, now for the next 5 seconds, I want you to hop in place or march in place as fast as you can. Go. Okay, march in place. This is the cool down. This is 1/6 of what we do in peak 8. We usually do 30 seconds and 90-second rest. Keep going. Starting to sweat, getting out of breath. Good. Okay, 5 more seconds. Hopping as fast as you can, like you're having a fit. Oh, we're getting fit for fitness. Go, 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 go. Okay, march in place. Okay, keep marching. Now we're going to do a specific exercise affirmation. So keep raising those knees up. You want to keep your breath rate up and heart rate up. Repeat after me. Is everybody with me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay. I want you to say this slowly. I am fit for fitness.
I am fit for fitness.
I can do it.
I can do it.
I have time.
I have time.
So be it.
So be it.
I want you to repeat it one more time. Make believe you're happy. I am fit for fitness.
I am fit for fitness.
I can do it.
I can do it.
I have time.
I have time.
So be it.
So be it.
And one last time, like you're really excited, it's going to increase your life, you're going to go on a cruise. I am fit for fitness.
I am fit for fitness.
I can do it.
I can do it.
I have time.
I have time.
So be it.
So be it.
All right, now you can rest. All right, so that's a little taste of slow, fast, and super fast muscle twitch fibers, or peak 8. Now, in conclusion, I would like to talk about savings. There are 3 ways you can save in your life. One is to save time exercising. If you do peak 8, it only takes 20 minutes, 3 times a week. Instead of treadmill 2 hours a week, lifting weights 3 hours a week. It really saves time. You can save money. Actually, this next Saturday, August 24th, week after this Saturday, if you show up for the open house on August 24th, Saturday, August 24th from 8 to 4, everything is free. You can go in and use any equipment, the pool, the weight rooms, the bikes. And if you join as a member, you get a discount. That day only. You get up to a 25% discount. If you're already a member of the Fairfield Park and Rec Center, and you take a guest and they sign up, you get 50% off for a year membership. So they're running some really great discounts. It's a great facility. Once you're a member, you get to take any class they have there for free. Water classes, and they have workout classes. Now, the other thing is to save yourself time in here.
Let's hear it again for Rhonda Whitaker. Hey! So be it. So be it. She contributes to the health of the club in so many ways, and I've never had a speech leave me so exhausted. So thank you, Rhonda. We'll now take 2 minutes to not loll around, but to evaluate the speaker. So timer with 2 minutes on the. All right, moving forward, and I'd like to bring up Karen Aoki to evaluate Rick Starr, or introduce Rick Starr, rather.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests. Tonight, Rick Starr will be giving his 3rd speech. He's joined Toastmaster very recently. He's already on his 3rd speech, so let that be a motivation for all of us. The 3rd project in the Competent Communication Manual is Get to the Point. Rick Starr will be talking about career change. The specific purpose of this talk will be to provide information about how to deal with career changes. The general purpose is to present a speech that gives us information about this topic, whether it be a new topic for you or whether you'll be learning more about this topic. The objectives for the 3rd project: organization. There should be a strong beginning, body, and conclusion. We'll be looking for sincerity and conviction. We'll be looking for how well he controls his nerves. And finally, we'll look for how well his points are supported. Please help me in welcoming Rick Starr.
For most of my career, I've been a computer professional, and recently I've had a major career change. And working with computers is very much a left brain activity. And left brain activity is rational, it's analytical, it's boring. In right brain activity, it's creative, it's artistic, it's fun. And so the purpose of my career change was to go from boring to fun. And what could be more fun than being a clown? And why not? I like show business. My father was in show business. He was a musician. There's always plenty of work for clowns at kids' parties. And best of all, if I was a clown, I could easily go into politics. Yeah. And
So be it.
there's 3 things you need to be a clown. The first is a costume. You put on the big red nose and everyone recognizes you as a clown. Either that or W.C. Fields, I don't know. The second thing you need is the most important thing to be a successful clown. And that is a rubber chicken. Rubber chickens and clowns go together. You rarely see one without the other. In fact, if you see a clown without a rubber chicken, he may not be a real clown. And rubber chickens are very smart. You can teach them lots of tricks. For example, tightrope walker. Whoa. Another thing, acrobat. Ta-da! And best of all, contortionist. And the best thing, a rubber chicken can be your friend. They're not much of a conversationalist, but they are a good listener. And they'll never interrupt you when you're talking. It's kind of like having an imaginary friend. I don't know if any of you had imaginary friends when you were kids. I had an imaginary friend. He wouldn't play with me, though. So, we have the red nose. We have the rubber chicken. We're all set to be a clown, right? Wrong. You just can't stand in front of people with a red nose and a chicken. You need an act. You need to entertain them. And people expect you to do different things. They expect you to get better. They expect you to improve. It sounds a lot like Toastmasters, doesn't it? So what better act for a clown than juggling? And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Rick, I can get a rubber nose, I can get a chicken, but I'll never learn how to juggle. It's too hard. But I've got a couple of tips for you that'll make juggling easy. The first thing, don't start with juggling balls. Start with something like a beanbag. Otherwise, you'll spend half your time reaching under the furniture where the balls invariably roll. The second point is use something soft. Believe me, your wife will not be amused when she comes home and her Hummel figurines are in little pieces. She just may not understand what you need to do for your career. So now, I would advise everybody to stand back or clear the room. Clown juggling. You can juggle this way, you can juggle this way, juggle big, juggle little, clown juggling.
Now the chainsaws.
Now the chainsaws. Every clown act has to have a musical finale. Has to have some schmaltzy, corny song at the end. So with apologies to Cole Porter, here I go. And if anyone wants to cover their ears at this point, that's okay. Be a clown, all the world loves a clown. Don't become a dentist, folks will treat you with dread. Don't become a teacher, you'll go out of your head. But get a rubber chicken, you'll earn plenty of bread. Be a clown, be a clown, be a clown.
Thank you very much, Rick. Now I'll take 2 minutes to evaluate the speaker. All right, wrap up the evaluations. I would like to now bring up Seth Braun, who appears to be in a bit of a lull since the start of the meeting. That tie looks a little loose, but he will be introducing our final speaker, Art Atkinson.
I thought that meant laughing out really loud.
Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, how are you all feeling after that workout?
Great.
Tired.
Since June 1st, 2005, only 4 Golden Speakers members have been here longer than Art Atkinson.
Wow.
Tom and Cindy Traynor, Bob Burns, and Marilyn Graber. Art is currently the secretary and treasurer, and he's been VP of Public Relations. Art joined this club to develop his public speaking skills, which are a vital part of his work as a wellness coach on the team that runs Fairfield Nutrition on the Square. Art grew up in California and brought his family here for the 3rd time in December 1986. Without mentoring, it took him 3 attempts to get the details of housing, work, child rearing, and education right to make for a successful move. You know, good mentoring could have saved Art 10 years, maybe many thousands of dollars. Art's children, Evan and Willow, live in Los Angeles. His 92-year-old mother, Catherine, who's been stimulating the human growth hormone, lives in Santa Rosa, California, where she is an active printmaker, photographer, and college student. Tonight, Art will be speaking about the mentoring program in Golden Speakers. What is it? Why do we have it? And who benefits from it? Let's have a warm, enthusiastic welcome to Mr. Art Atkinson.
Thank you, Seth. Mentoring within Toastmasters is a skill that very senior seasoned Toastmasters can sometimes master, and that new members should probably never attempt. I hope none of you believes that. What is the mentoring program? Why do we have it? And who benefits from it? Well, what's a mentor? Somebody who helps you along in life in some particular domain area. I was lucky to have a mentor, for example, in 1983 when I was entering an entirely new business. A gentleman named Ted Smith hired me, took me under his wing, and showed me how to be a technical recruiter. He saved me months and months of time learning that completely new business. I knew software. I came out of software. But going into technical recruiting was going into a completely foreign domain. And he showed me things that completely went opposite to what my instincts would have had me do. And it would have cost me months and months and thousands of dollars if I'd followed my own poor judgment. Instead, I followed his, shortened the learning curve. I was making more money within 6 months as a technical recruiter than I'd ever made as a software engineer. That was the value to me of a mentor in that domain. And many of us maybe have been lucky to have one or more, perhaps several mentors in life. Is there anyone that would like to share just any experience in some domain of their life where they had a mentor and it was useful and valuable to them? Don't everybody. Farah, could you tell us about a mentor you had?
I'm extremely grateful for my dad. He was a pioneer in his time, ahead of the game with organic farming. And I loved how he took the time to show the value of doing it organically. And it's helped me tremendous with my organic landscaping that I now do. Thank you.
Karen, you had your hand up.
I was a competitive runner in high school, and I was very grateful to have a mentor. Some of the girls a couple years older would run with me, and I felt that it was a very selfless thing to do in a very competitive sport. So I was very moved that they would they would run beside me, just ahead of me to pace me and to improve my own skills. And the mentor taught me to love the game, but to have fun with it and not to go too competitive in that direction.
Thank you. So mentors do all of these things. Within Toastmasters, we have a mentoring program because it's not true that only seasoned senior people can help. Once you've experienced enough of the Toastmasters curriculum, you have some really valuable experience that you can pass on. We have a mentoring program to shorten that learning curve for everyone who comes in the club. We want to get people busy, working in roles, being productive of giving new talks, being an active member of the club. These are among the things that a Toastmasters mentor can help the new person to do. Is there a new member in the club who'd like to share an experience that they've had being mentored as a new member? I know there are new members in the club who are in mentoring.
Go again.
Okay.
I joined not too long ago. My mentor is Art. And immediately I felt that some of the details that are hidden, he made known to me, so I didn't feel as lost. And he got me on track. Also, roles like evaluation are kind of an intimidating role for me, but Art could lay out very specific points to look for. So it's almost like he gave me an advantage, just some place to start, so I didn't have to feel completely lost in a whole new field.
Anybody else? Okay, the value of mentoring isn't restricted to new members. Experienced members can also get a great deal of value from mentoring. I, for example, if I thought that I had a bone in my body that was humorous and was going to develop that, I would go seek out Jesus Rios, who's actually a junior member to me, but an experienced member. I would seek Jesus for guidance in developing skills as a humorous speaker, which I think there's probably not a lot of argument about the fact that that isn't my real nature. It's something I'd have to work on to develop. Is there a senior member in the club who's received mentoring in some domain or other that they could tell us about? Jean.
I don't know if I'd call myself a senior member. Maybe a little longer term member. But I wish you were here, but Tom Trainer has just been absolutely invaluable to me for all the different things I've been involved with. Area governor type things, just running the club. He's really been a great resource. He's my go-to person, my sounding board.
Yeah, Tom has mentored me, he's mentored you, he's mentored virtually everybody in one time or another. So the benefits are not restricted to the person receiving the mentoring. The mentor himself gets a lot of benefit from the process. These are among the things that are advantages for the mentor. And there's one further one that I think is something I've experienced directly, and that is, have you heard the proverb that the teacher learns more than the student? In the course of mentoring Karen, it became apparent to me every time she would ask me a question about doing her next speech or doing a role, it was clear to me that I was having to collect my thoughts and get clear about something that I had been fuzzy about before. And I'm better able, as a result of mentoring her, to deal with the tasks that are before me. So it's not restricted to the mentor, the mentee, the whole club benefits. We get more members. The members are more satisfied. They're getting what they want. They stick around.
Yeah.
Some for a great many years having contributed to the club and contributed to the district. This is the program at work. So these are qualities that you might find in a saint. And a good mentor will display as much of this as possible. You don't have to wait till all of this is in place to do a good job of it. It really boils down to having a genuine desire to help and having some relevant experience that you can share. Now we have in this club some differing opinions about what qualifications need to be in place for a person to be qualified to mentor new members coming in. Toastmasters International has some suggestions. We have developed around here a general guideline that a person should have completed competent communicator speeches 1 through 6, have served in most of the roles in meetings, if not all of them, and have at least some knowledge of what all the officers do and what their responsibilities are. But it isn't written in stone. Someone who came in as a highly experienced speaker could begin mentoring others almost immediately. Here's a place where practice in our club departs a lot from what Toastmasters International thinks the process might look like. So I'll just show you that they break it down into a first meeting, a second meeting, and a third meeting. Now in my case, a lot of my mentoring relationships have been email and telephone. Practices vary. It's really by agreement between the mentor and the mentee how they're going to communicate, whether they actually sit face to face, as this describes, or whether they meet by phone or just exchange emails. As long as this stuff is getting done, the practice in this club is that the mentor mostly focuses on helping the new person with the icebreaker and with speeches number 2 and 3. Then the responsibility begins to taper off. There's a lot about the organization outside of the club that a mentor, if he's well acquainted with it, can pass on to the new person. The most vital thing is to get that new person filling roles, having success filling the roles, and doing their first few manual speeches and getting good results from that. One of the things that I think is powerful about the way we treat new members in this club is that the club as a whole really does a lot of the mentoring of new members. I've observed that many of the new members have, it's been my experience with the people I've mentored, that they've needed very little input from me, and much of what they needed to learn this context and how the whole organization worked came from contributions by other club members in the course of the meeting or in other conversations. One of the final things that a mentor does is inspire the new person that they're mentoring. Make sure that they get excited about the idea of participating as an officer or in speech contests. I think we have Rhonda engaged in that activity right now. So it's a big organization with lots of moving pieces to get to know, and it takes some time. The focus that I've always had as a mentor is to make sure a person is getting manual speeches scheduled and working with the VP of Ed to make sure that that's happening. Now we have been recently putting out surveys to get member interest, and in the past week I sent out an email to everybody in the club with a mentoring survey, and I know some got it. Has anyone brought, besides Karen, brought a completed mentoring survey with them tonight? We have in this club decided that the mentoring program will be run by the VP of Membership. So Catherine Kens is the person with whom you communicate about your desire to have a mentor or to be mentored. This offloads the whole activity from the VP of Ed, who is otherwise a very busy person already. Mentees should be coachable people. They should want to learn and be ready to absorb whatever the mentor has to offer. And it doesn't go on forever. The idea is to produce a self-sufficient, independent new Toastmaster Club member who is excited and working on his own. It's not to produce a dependent person. So I'd say take advantage of the experience that's around. Accelerate your learning and let the whole club benefit. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Art. I will now take 2 minutes to evaluate the speaker. All right, let's have another round of applause for all our awesome speakers tonight. Before I bring up our general evaluator to conclude our meeting, I would like everyone to vote for best speaker. Mr. Timer, did everyone qualify?
No, Rick and Art did, but Rhonda did not.
All right, well, we'll be deciding between Rick and Art. Voted. So we can bring up Jyoti Raj Adhikari to evaluate tonight's meeting.
Fellow Toastmasters, guests and viewers at home. I'm the general evaluator tonight. My role is to evaluate the evaluators and a meeting. So first I would like to call Merlin Grabber to evaluate the speech of Rhonda Whitaker.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and especially Rhonda. I love the title of your speech, Getting into Fits for Fitness. You could have titled that Getting Fit, but you titled it Getting into Fits for Fitness. So that piqued our interest right off the bat. How well did the speaker's topic apply to the audience? Very well. I think we all want to get younger, don't we?
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Did the speaker vary the types of support material? Absolutely. It was very well researched. Rhonda had a lot of knowledge already because from her introduction, she conducts fitness classes over at the rec center. But she filled in the gaps very beautifully with all of this research. I counted 6 different support materials. Mark Beck, Therapeutic Massage, Dr. McColl's article, this beautiful, clear chart, Mike Marino, Ronald Platts, and And then our demonstration I consider a support material because we got, now this is the first time I've seen this project, this research project, where we had audience participation, you know, in a research project. And that was great because we got the personal experience of doing this. And what better support material is that? I liked your organization. Your first support material was Mark Beck, therapeutic massage, and that gave us the physical location where HDH is produced in the pituitary gland. So that was important to get first. Then you produced this beautiful clear chart, which I think was visible way from the back. Very beautiful, and you must have spent some time on that. Dr. McCullough's article, Ike Marino, Ronald Platts, those all you gave a small phrase from each of them that made a different point about HDH and aging. What could the speaker have done differently? Well, I said perhaps condense some of the support material, but better yet, you might have shortened the workout. Just because of the time constraints. For no other reason, just because of the time constraints. A great speech, but you should have been a candidate for one of the awards.
Wait all night to do that.
What I liked about your speech, your enthusiasm, you got the audience totally involved, even in a research project. We didn't loll around in this speech, that's for sure. And you sent us off with a way that we can benefit by going to this Park and Recreation event on the 24th.
Our second evaluator is Karen Alton. She is going to evaluate Briggs star for his first speech.
Good evening. Rick, I feel that your best area is organization and content. You're a master of clear, orderly layout of points. I know what you're going to tell us, and you support it well. I especially enjoy your stage presence. Even though you don't use the whole stage, I feel that you draw everyone in. And I marvel at how calm and collected you are up here. So that's one of your skills, and I feel that for this speech you have met all the criteria. You have specified your goal, you supported your point, and delivered it with calmness and confidence. Something to work on for the future would now be including a little more gestures and stage presence. And I don't think this has to be an elaborate affair. And it might be interesting to use or revisit the speech material, but with more involvement of behavior and gestures. Humor is one of your strong suits. So for that, perhaps incorporating a little more silence before you deliver a more humorous element of your speech would be, I think, it would strengthen the delivery. And project number 5 will emphasize use of stage and gestures. So that might be something, a possibility for content for speech 5. Eye contact, again, that was maybe something where you could look at and apply that strategy of looking at one person, making a point, and then moving to the next person, making a point. These are things that we are learning in the first speeches of our Competent Communication Manual. I enjoyed your speech. I especially enjoy your humor. Thank you.
Our next evaluator is Seth Brown, who is going to evaluate Art Atkinson.
Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, guests, viewers at home, Art Atkinson. Art was doing a mentorship module, a required Toastmasters paint by numbers presentation. How many of you thought that he executed a Toastmasters module very well? I did too. I'm going to follow this evaluation guide and give Art feedback based on questions that were given to me. How effective was the speaker's introduction in helping the audience understand the purpose of the successful club series and the presentation itself? It was helpful. You set it up. Could have been tighter. The family information you provided should have been tied into the topic of mentoring. You got kids? Great. So how did you mentor them? You got your mother? Great. Well, how did she mentor you? Bring everything into a focused, if it's in there, have a reason for it being there. Everything needs to be tied into the purpose of your speech. 2, was the presenter adequately prepared? How heavily did the presenter rely on notes? He was very prepared. I happen to know that he took generous time to prepare with interviews and questions to members, and it came through in a very well executed, well-timed speech. Show of hands if you thought it was well prepared. Okay, great. Number 3, how did the speaker use vocal variety to enhance his presentation? He did not use vocal variety to enhance his presentation, and this is where I'm going to take the gloves off for Art because he's an experienced speaker and he can take it. If you want to make a point with your audience, sometimes you have to. Vocal variety! Yep. It was the same pitch, tone, and pace 70% of the time. That's what I have to say about that. Number 4, what other techniques did the speaker use to personalize and augment the presentation? Were they effective and how? Well, he engaged the audience, he asked questions, he used numerous Socratic techniques. He engaged the group, he engaged individuals. Number 5, did the speaker display the visuals smoothly and at the appropriate times? How could the speaker improve? Yes, he executed without flaw. In a mentorship module for Toastmasters, you've got this paint by numbers presentation, and what was great is there were no mess ups. Because here's the thing, Art's not going to go give this for his business. This isn't like me coming up and giving a speech where I'm going to do it again and I have a really well prepared PowerPoint or something. It's like a one-time gig. You can only put so much energy into these modules because it's a one-time shot and it's done. So could he improve? Yes, he could have used pictures. He could have used pictures to make a point instead of words. But in this one, I'm not going to be taking the gloves off with you. I think you did great. 6, what aspect of the speaker's presentation style did you find unique and why? His thoroughness and his relevance. He really made it relevant information for our club. He gave us things to look for. He gave us information that we needed. Was it presented clearly? Yes. What could he have done differently? I gave you those 2 points already. Vocal variety and include more focused information in your introduction in the speech to your point. Show us, don't tell us. Show us through stories and other people speaking, don't tell us. All in all, great job executing a paint by numbers speech from Toastmasters. Thanks, Art, we really appreciate that. Mr. General Evaluator.
Now it's a time to vote. Please vote for the best evaluator. 2 minutes. 1 minute.
Marilyn or Karen?
Okay. Marilyn and Karen qualified. Seth didn't. Now it's a time for reports. First we'll listen from our timer, Bob, about the timing report.
Okay, on the speeches, Rhonda Whitaker was at 9 minutes and 1 second. Rick was at 6:59, and Art was at 14:58. And the evaluators, Marilyn was at 3:04, Karen was at 1:55, and Seth was at 3:48. And that's my timer's report.
Next we'll hear from our counter. Leonard, how do you pronounce your last name?
I think I got everything. I did find one so on Jeff. one aw on Karen, one so. Art had one so and one but. Marilyn had one ah, one you know, and one so.
Thank you. Now it's time for primary report with Burns.
Thank you, Joe T. The people I heard use the word of the day: Gene, Bert, Jeff, Marilyn. I heard Jeff use it twice. I missed somebody in there, whoever you are. I was up here doing the table topics. I forgot to take my sheet with me. That's a lesson learned. So my apologies to you. For the speech elements that I liked Rhonda's comment about the fountain of youth and that it was within us. I also liked your question, invoking to twitch or not to twitch. That is the question. Rick, if I was a clown, I could move easily into politics. Art, if I had a humorous bone in my body, you might find, or yeah, I the image of that humorous bone in your body, and that because you actually are a funny guy, Art, you just have a different sense of humor, I think, than a lot of people.
It's very subtle.
Very subtle. Yeah, it's very dry. It's very subtle. And the qualities you listed, qualities you might find in a saint.
That was good.
I'll hope to
That was
aspire
really
to.
good.
Thank you. Now it's the time to evaluate the meeting and our evaluators. So meeting started on time. It was a good sign of progress. Rhonda started the meeting.
That's funny.
Yeah, I'm also here. So she was very confident and started the meeting. Very nice, Dan. You looked very determined today. Very determined. You start the meeting. Yeah. Thank you. And our Toastmaster. So this is, I just want to give a small comment about the dress code. I mean, it's not a code, but if you are Toastmaster, then that will give a good impression to have this full.
He just got off his yacht, though.
That was good. So now we'll go to evaluators. So Marlon Graver, she greeted the audience. She's a very experienced speaker. She appreciated the speaker. That's a good thing to motivate the speaker when you first start with appreciation. And she had a good gestures, movement of hands, and she had the suggestion to set in the workout and something like that. So that's a good thing. The only suggestion I have is you are kind of repeating what she said or what she showed. That was eating you a lot of time. I mean, you are telling about the author of the book, you are telling about the title of the book and all those things, so that will eat your time. So what I think is repeating the same thing we have already heard, I will not add that much value to the evaluation. So if you focus on what she did better and what she did, I mean, what is the suggestion to improve her speaking skill, that will add value. That's my only suggestion. Karen, you also started with appreciation. As I said, that is a very good motivation to the speaker. You came forward. That was like you pulled the audience in. They're all looking at you. And you started, as last time Jesse said, so you said specific thing. So you're counting 1, 2, this. That's a very good thing that will have good impression. You have good gestures, good eye contact. The only thing what I suggest is I think you didn't greet at the audience. So when you come here front, it's very, it's good to greet the audience when you start. Because when you greet, that will pull the audience towards you. When you say, fellow Toastmaster, then everyone, okay, respected guest, or guest, then guest will see. Viewers at home, they'll listen. And that's one of the way how you pull the audience towards you. And Seth, as an experienced speaker, very confident, he greeted. I forgot to tell you, you also forgot to greet the audience. It's not straight away evaluation. You greeted the audience and you asked the question, so you could pull the audience immediately. That's your speech, evaluation. You showed how the vocal variety have the impact on the speech. That your example was really great. And you had a good eye contact. You had pauses. Overall, your evaluation is good. Only suggestion is you asked 3-4 questions. So that is like, it was distracting the audience from. So every time when you say he's good, you are taking the audience poll, you are the evaluator. But that's a good thing to do once or twice, audience poll. So that is only my suggestion. So this is my evaluation. So I'd like to call upon Jeff Sefti again for the last section. Thank you.
Joe Keith for that evaluation. We are in the privileged position of possibly getting out of here ahead of schedule, which I will take credit for. Yeah. So give me a spirited drum roll and I can award our best speaker. Briggs star. You can put your clown nose on to accept this award.
Except on behalf of the rubber chicken. Thank you.
There you go. Thank you very much. We look forward to a promising career in politics from you as well.
Thank you. Really, yeah.
All right, another brief spirited drum roll for our best evaluator. Oh, Karen Aoki. And I have some ribbons. Let's see what we got here. Rhonda Whitaker, speech number 7.
All right.
Rick, you want to come back up here and take the ribbon? Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you. You can take this one too.
Thank you.
And here you go, Karen.
Oh, okay, thank you.
All right, now I'd like to call up Rhonda Whitaker to provide some closing remarks and bring us on home.
Amen. I'd like to ask our guests if you would share your name and what you appreciated about the meeting. We start with the young girls.
My name is Brianna, and what I appreciate about this meeting is that you just get to talk about your feelings and how you feel about everything.
Yeah.
My name is Carissa, and I really appreciated when people came up and they talked about different things.
Thank you, Carissa.
My name is Emily, and I really appreciated how everyone had a role and everyone was supporting each other, and how the evaluators were evaluated, and how there were different topics of the presentations, and it was very entertaining and also seemed like a great learning experience for everyone, so thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Annalisa. She said what I wanted to say, but I appreciate just the community here, how supportive everyone is, and how engaging and entertaining the speeches were. Somehow I imagined it would be kind of not so exciting, but I know I was laughing a lot. It was really entertaining.
Well, tonight I promised everybody a sushi reward. Now that reward comes for the people, the first 12 people, because I have 12 pieces of sushi, who sign up for the contest on September 17th. We need up to six humorous speakers and up to 6 evaluation speakers. We have one evaluation speaker already. Who would like to be a humorous speaker?
What kind of sushi do we have?
Yeah, very good. Wait, all right, slow down.
Slow down.
Butter and jelly, it's really good. What?
September 17th.
Rick, you want to be a humorous speaker?
Yes.
Ah, fabulous clown man.
Okay, so I want to be an evaluation one, because if
Okay.
you go through all the humorous, there won't be any sushi left.
What?
You're counting, right? So
I am, I've got Jean.
So just to be clear, it's people who are going to compete as evaluators and people who are going to compete as speakers in a humorous speech competition.
Is that right?
Is that
That's
correct?
right. That's right.
That, I'm just clarifying, that is correct.
Yeah.
You're going to compete as an evaluator.
Yeah.
There's going to be one person speaking that you'll evaluate, and then you all get to compete with one another on who's doing the best evaluation. So there's an evaluation, you don't know.
Right. We need 6 evaluators, and we need 6 humorous contestants. Up to 6.
Yeah.
We might be here all night. Okay. Now, please, humorous speakers. Alex, great. Bert?
Count me in.
Ryan, of course, Ryan. Anybody else? Please speak up.
December 17th, well, what the heck. I might
All
as well.
right, all right. Seth, okay,
Contest.
we got humorous.
I'll do cookies.
Oh, cookies, ooh, we're not there yet, but I'm gonna write you down, cookies.
Pretty funny.
I nominate Alex Sakea to speak in the humorous speech competition.
He is.
You already did.
He's already speaking.
You're already here.
Okay, evaluators,
I nominate him to
evaluation.
be funny for 40 hours.
Okay, who wants to evaluate? Evaluation, Jeff, great. Anybody else?
Yeah, yeah.
Jyoti?
You've got me on, right?
Oh, yeah.
Jean? And Lynette, you want to evaluate?
Sure.
Is that okay? She hasn't even done a speech yet.
No, no, no.
Before then, but
You need to do more speeches.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Good
But
enthusiasm.
bravo.
yeah, wow.
Well, I thought you were evaluating the humorist, so I thought it would be kind of fun. So I think you have to do the speeches
Well,
first.
evaluating
I'll
will
wait.
be fun, but,
It might be funny.
Wait,
How many-
we'll
Cart
be in
before the
there.
horse.
okay.
Hopefully it'll be funny.
One more evaluator?
Karen?
I'm already a timer, right?
Oh, okay.
She's
I mean,
timer.
yes.
Ah,
Come
okay.
on.
Okay, so we got 4 evaluation
That's
speakers. If
Safer.
anybody else wants to join up later.
Ask
get here.
Jesus. Jesus is pretty good at that.
Well, he has to be here to speak for himself, so.
Or Colin.
Yeah, he has to speak for himself.
Yeah, Colin.
Okay,
It's okay if you only have 4
Because he's
people.
not a ventriloquist.
right. All right, let's go on to judges. We've got Will Burns as our chief judge. We need judges for the humorists. So far, we've got Dan for humorist and Lynette Vivacqua as a judge for
Can I
humorist.
do that, or no?
Can she do that without doing a
Yeah.
speech? No, okay,
We need to
sorry,
have a little more
Lynette. We
experience
gotta get
for
you
the
into the
judges.
icebreakers.
I'll
Bob,
be a judge.
humorist judge.
Cross my name off. I won't be offended.
I'll be a
You can have my
humorist
sushi though.
Jean, humorous
That's
judge.
longer
We're past
than
What?
I think we're past.
Art, humorous judge.
Are you
I can
going
be a
to
humorous
evaluate?
judge.
Marilyn,
He's saying I can't do my sushi away?
There is no sushi to give away.
Oh. You mean I didn't qualify?
okay,
for
moving on
sushi?
to evaluation judges. We have Dan Craig.
There were older people out there.
Anybody else want to be an evaluation judge? Evaluate the
Can you do
evaluation.
both?
Rhonda, who's the chief judge for the club contest?
Will Burns.
William.
So you're open for both. You could be open for both.
You don't want me to do the judge, chief judge?
I think your area.
She is, oh, excuse me.
I'm sorry.
Art is going to be area chief judge. Right now, we're doing our club judges for our club
You can be a
contest.
judge for both the evaluation and for the humorists.
Yeah.
You can feel, well, you can be a judge for both.
If
You
you're
don't.
not
But he
competing.
can't be chief judge for both.
No, I'm
Because
not,
we
yeah,
forgot
I'm
one.
talking
Okay, so you want to be a judge for evaluation and
And you
club?
can't get sushi for both.
You might get shark. Do you want
Yeah, for the club contest, I'll
club?
judge either humorous or,
No, both.
I'll judge both.
Okay, Art, thank you. So we've got 2 judges so far. We need 2 more.
Can I judge both?
As long as you're not a speaker, yes.
Cindy
Gotcha,
Trainer.
Bob.
Cindy Trainer's probably.
The trainers?
Well, I mean, yeah, Cindy's a lot of times a good judge. 'cause she's
Anybody
done
else
both.
here tonight want to speak up for evaluation judge? Okay, good. We're moving right on. Ballot counter 1. Need some ballot counters. That doesn't take speech experience. Vera?
Lynette, you're up.
Lynette?
You can do.
There you go.
Okay, great. Now we have timer 1 Karen, timer 2. We need another timer. Anybody without a whole lot of speech experience want to jump in here? Okay,
Our guests could join as members tonight and be ready to roll as secondary timers.
all right.
Give them a membership form.
Now, we need a sergeant at arms who will control the evaluation contestants. So we're going to have 2 sergeant at arms that night. We have sergeant at arms for regular duties is up for grabs, and also evaluation contestant controller.
Tasers and handcuffs.
Tasers and handcuffs, all right. Okay, who wants to be sergeant at arms? You just take them out of the room, put them in the other room.
Sergeant with right arm and left arm.
All right, who's good with that?
You may be here, though.
Jeff?
That may be
Sergeant at
here.
arms?
Sure, man.
You're an evaluation speaker, so I can't do that, sorry. You'd be handcuffing yourself. All right.
Slobodan may be here.
Who?
Slobodan may be here.
Slobodan?
I may be here, but I don't know.
Well, what would it take? I mean,
Well,
Or
when I know that I have a ticket and a date on a ticket, then I'll let you know, but I don't know.
Shooting an airplane out of the sky, that would.
I don't know if I'm gonna be here, but I signed up, so.
But I'm planning to leave, that's the thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we'll skip that for now. People who bring drinks, we can discuss that thing closer to it. People who would help organize the room would be nice to know now. They need to come at 6:45 to help set up. And actually, we welcome as many people as possible to help set up the room that night.
What time does it start?
It starts, we have judges briefing at 7.
put my name down, I'll come and help earlier.
Yeah, Lynette, bring it.
Yeah, learn the ropes, Lynette. We'll be doing the tightrope walk and the high wire act. There's also the contestants briefing and the contestants rehearsal. Art?
Well, you're gonna be a judge.
What day is it?
I don't know, 15 minutes.
September 17th.
I think it's a Tuesday.
Yes, we're having all our contests and events on Tuesdays because on Saturdays, it's too hard to get enough people to come in to run the contest or the event. All right, that's it. Thank you very much for cooperating tonight.
Let's give her a hand.
Great
Rhonda.
Our Facebook page?
Yes, Karen has an announcement about our Facebook page.
Okay. On behalf of the PR committee, we'll get the Facebook page going again. So for that, I just wanted to request your approval that I am allowed to take pictures of you all and then post it on our Facebook page. Are you all right with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me think about it while I pull up my camera.
Okay, so.
Are you all right with it?
Actually, if you could, that would be wonderful. Right, at this point, it's been sorely neglected, so we need to start updating it. And I will include tidbits from the meeting, appealing points, etc. So, if you're all in favor.
Best
say aye.
dress. You could do the best dress for the meeting.
Can we
and
take
stuff like that.
pictures and put them on the
That would
page?
be great.
Please.
Yeah.
Cool.
Is that okay?
Thank you, yeah.
All right, Karen,
No,
if you
yeah,
can't, then wait.
No flash photography though.
Okay,
Oh,
ready,
whatever.
set, adjourn.